direction, the Pentagon is now working to create the sixth branch of the American Armed Forces, the Space Force. Very serious stuff. And that's happening quickly. It's very serious. That's where it's at. You know, you have to know where it's at. Doesn't sound right, but it's right. That's where it's at. Both defense and offense, that's where it's at. I withdrew the United States from the horrible, one-sided Iran nuclear deal. You know, before I became president, I looked at what was happening with Iran. They were taking over the Middle East. They were taking Syria. They were taking Yemen. They were going into Iraq. They were taking everything. Now, they just want to make it. They just want to say, they have riots in every city. Since I took over that operation, that horrible, horrible deal, that was, I think of it, the previous administration gave Iran $150 billion. And even crazier, they gave them $1.8 billion in cash. Cash. Airplanes full of cash. In fact, I got in. I said, does the President of the United States actually have the power to give away $1.8 billion in cash? You know what the answer is? It's actually no. They don't. What they did there is a disgrace. They gave them 1.8 in order to have a terrible deal. Well, that was a hostage. They paid $1.8 billion. They paid $1.8 billion for hostages. Can you imagine? And we got our hostages back from North Korea. Right? Nothing. Zero. And we have a good relationship. And who knows what happens, but I think good things happen. No more missile testing, no more rocket testing, no more nuclear testing. We got the remains of our great, great heroes from 75 years ago back. And they keep coming back. And we got our hostages back. And good things are happening over there. You know what I always say? It's deals. Just before we signed the deal with Canada and Mexico, great deal. I said, who knows? I never like to say, who could you say? It's a deal. Who knows? I like to do it. It takes all the pressure off. Who knows? With North Korea, who knows? But I think we're doing very well, okay? The fake news says, why aren't you going faster? I said, listen, I just got back 3 months ago. Right? I was there with Kim Jong-un. I was there 3 months ago. Chairman Kim. They say, why aren't you going faster? I said, what have people done for 75 years? 75. This is 3 months. And one of the anchors said, why has the president given away so much? And I said, what have I given? I haven't given anything. We got our hostages back for nothing, out of respect. Right? We got our remains back. We got the testing all stopped, including the nuclear testing. I said, tell me, what have we given? Well, you agreed to meet. Oh, that doesn't cost me very much. I agreed to meet. I like to meet. I like to meet. What the hell do we lose by meeting? I asked the previous administration. Now that's what I gave away. I agreed to meet. Can you believe it? These people are sick. I agreed to meet. Can you imagine how well we'd do if we actually had fair press? Can you imagine? No, can you imagine? Instead of fake news. I agreed to meet. I'm sorry I agreed to meet. And then they said, right? You know, the rhetoric was extremely tough that first couple of months. And President Obama said, at my meeting with him, he said, the biggest problem we have by far is North Korea. They would have gone to war. Millions and millions of people would have been killed. Millions of people. And I said to somebody in their administration, have you ever talked? Have you ever agreed to meet? Have you ever, like, let's sit down and talk? Well, we haven't thought about, oh, I see, you go to war, you're not going to talk? We'll beat anybody. What we have now coming in, I'm telling you, it's the greatest power we've ever had, the greatest power in the world. Do you know why I have that? Because I don't want to use it. And when you have it, nobody's going to mess with us, okay? Nobody. I don't want to use it. Greatest power in the world. 716 billion. Greatest power in the world. But we're doing great. And we have recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. That's the other story I tell. That's the other story we tell. That's a big one. That's a big, big story. You know why? Because other presidents all said they're going to do it. Many, many presidents. We're going to do it, we're going to do it. Then the pressure goes on them and they don't do it. And I see why. I don't blame them. Every leader called me up. Don't do it, please don't do it, don't do it. You know the story. I've refused to take their phone calls. They said, tell them I'll call them back on Thursday. Next week. And I'm signing like on Wednesday. Tell them I'm calling them back on Thursday. I look forward to speaking to them. Then I sign the deal, announce the deal. Then I call them back. Yeah, hi, how you doing? What's up? Well, we wanted to talk to you about Israel, but it's a little late. And the embassy, which was going to cost over $1 billion, we built it for about $400,000, right? You know that, right? And the billion would have taken probably 20 years before you ever got to build it. And we took a piece of land that we owned, already owned, and it had a building on it. Okay, building. We fixed the building up a little bit. We took the big space in the corner. We used even Jerusalem stone, which is a very expensive era builder. Jerusalem stone is beautiful. How nice is that? And you know, Jerusalem stone in Jerusalem sounds about right. And we got it for the right price. And we built it for less than $500,000. Think of it. And we opened it up. It's open now. We have our embassy. So we saved $1 billion in 20 years. And we have our embassy. We could do that with hundreds of things. For years you watched as your leaders apologized for America. And now you have a president who is standing up for America. We're standing up for your values. We're standing up for Kansas, and we're standing proudly. We are standing proudly for our great national anthem, right? And I just helped Canada and the NFL make a deal that they've been trying to make for years. Can you believe it? Canada was taking advantage of the NFL. The NFL couldn't get it done. It took me about 2 seconds because it's peanuts. It's a lot of money, but it's not compared to corn and crops and dairy and milk and cars and steel and everything else. It's peanuts. I say, you got to take care of it. It's not right because I want to help American companies. It took me like 2 minutes, and we got it done. And I got a call from the commissioner of the NFL, and I thought he was calling me to ask me to stop haunting them about standing for the American flag and for our nation. And he didn't. He called me to thank me. He said, the previous administration could not get it done, and you got it done. We didn't even know you were trying to do it. So now they'll have a lot more money to give to their players, and their players will still hate me, but that's okay. Stand for our anthem, just as long as they stand. Just as long as they stand for our flag and our anthem, I don't care how they feel about it. But to continue our incredible momentum, you have to get your friends, your family, your neighbors, your co-workers, and get out and vote Republican. We need more people in D.C. We don't have enough. Vote to send Chris Kobach to the governor's mansion and vote to send Steve Watkins to Congress. We always vote for Trump. A vote for Republicans is a vote for lower taxes, less regulation, and more products made right here in the USA. Finally. We want it made here. It's a vote to respect our borders, respect our Constitution, and respect the heroes of law enforcement. And that's what they are. They're our heroes. And a vote for Republicans is a vote to reject the Democrat politics of anger and division and destruction, and to reclaim America's true heritage and righteous destiny. We're losing that with these crazy loco people. To everyone in this room tonight, that's a lot of people, to every citizen watching across our land, this is your time to choose. It's a time to choose whether we turn backward to the failure and frustration of the past, or whether we continue forward into a future of American greatness. It's not up to the media. It's not up to the pundits. It's up to you to decide your fate. And remember this, what happened in 2016 and what's happening even more so now, I believe, because I produced, and people see I produced. One of them said he made a lot of promises and he actually produced more than he made promises. I mean, think about it. I did.